All right, let's go through game 3, Gareth.
Okay, game 3 now. We're into Saturday. It's 11:40 kickoff. You know, we've got the Force at home against the Lions. The Lions playing their last game of their tour. They've lost all 3 games to date, unfortunately.
For them.
You know, and apart from fleeting moments, it hasn't been a great tour at all. You know, they'll have one eye on the plane back to Ellis Park and Johannesburg, but they're in Perth, and Force have just flown back from South Africa,
right.
So they're sort of meeting up in Perth. I don't see the Lions. I don't see any way that they're gonna win this game. You know, they'll scrum well like they've done throughout the tournament, but that's pretty much all they've offered, unfortunately, from this. You know, in this campaign. They'll be competitive for the first half, maybe the first hour even, but I think the Force will just run away with it in the end. They've got a lot to play for. You know, they're still in a playoff position. They want to entrench their position there. The Lions, bottom of the South African conference now, near the bottom of the overall conference. They're looking like wooden spoonists, unfortunately for them. So, but I don't think a lot will change. You know, the Lions made a whole bunch of changes to their team. They're clearly not settled on their starting 15, their best 15. So that never really helps. You know, the lack of consistency. But you know, it's a chance to give everyone a game. You know, they don't have fantastic depth, so they sort of have their best players, and they sort of have to play them, unfortunately, every week. But Coach Johan Ackermann's trying a few new combinations, see if it sparks anything. But I'm going for the Force win by 9 points.
All right, Rob, I know you're going to agree on the outcome of the game, but what score are you going for?
Sadly, it's very difficult to bet against the Force, considering the fact that the Lions are on such a long losing streak at the moment that it's impossible to see them winning. And so many changes to the mix. I'm going to say Force by about 13, so a little bit of a wider margin. The Force, I think, may have been read the riot act a little bit, Garen, after taking quite a pounding from the Stormers. They were never really in the game against the Stormers, so a disappointing performance for the Force after they've been really sort of playing, you know, quite dynamically for several weeks. So that was a little bit of a sort of a thumping, you know, return to earth for them, and I think they'll be up for it, despite the fact that they've just done the long haul across time zones back to Perth. They'll be a little bit more disadvantaged than the Lions, who are still in Australasia and coming up for their last game. I'm a little bit worried about the Lions, though, from an injury point of view. I think they've lost both their locks from the last game. Martin Muller's come home, and so has MB Lusaseni, both of whom I think started the last match, and both of whom are on planes already back in South Africa. So weakness in the second row, lots of changes. So even the Lions' scrumming strength may just be negated in this game, which means they don't really have that much else to offer. I think Julian Redlinghuis, the tight head prop, is also on the bench. So it shows that perhaps some of the players are also getting a little bit tired and are needing to be rotated. And the Lions don't have great depth. So it's looking at the teams on paper, you've got to really quite heavily back the Force, I think.
All right. Well, I even agree with you on that.